And welcome back to the Hot Lap Las Vegas. The F1 race getting closer and closer and closer. But our headlines, we were looking at the first impressions. Karun Chandhok is quite excited for that Las Vegas Grand Prix coming up. We've got the new liveries for Red Bull, Williams, McLaren, Ferrari, and maybe some more. Also, Pirelli are basically talking about the tyres and the cold weather, and there's not much they can really do if there's anything wrong. The tyres are already there. They've already made the tyres. Could be chaos. Let's see. Cadillac also announced their entrance into F1 as an engine supplier, albeit a General Motors engine supplier. Will this save the Andretti team, making it a must-have team now in Formula One, and stop those naysayers? And the new 2026 cars have been revealed, albeit a 3D render from Automotor and Sport. And last but not least, Lewis Hamilton is in Fortnite, available this Friday. That's going to be the 17th. That's our headlines, but let's get into the first impressions of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We reckon a lot of red flags, at least from Karun Chandhok, and I'm not going to disagree with him, the sky pad aficionado. So, Formula F1 driver Karun Chandhok, he has praised the Las Vegas organisers for the job they've done producing the circuit and getting it ready well in time for the race, okay? So preparations, as we know, have been long underway. However, though there is a huge amount of fanfare for the sport's arrival. Now, temperatures, as we keep on talking, it's probably getting boring for you now, are set to drop low and low and low. And even Chandhok's predicted there could be real jeopardy as they break from huge top speeds with what's going to be colder tyres, especially on that first corner of the first lap of the race. So there have been concerns heading into the weekend about the levels of grip that drivers would have in Vegas, given the cold overnight temperatures. Now, having seen a new surface for himself, the former F1 driver for Lotus and HRT, he believes the sport has done well with the track, getting it ready in good enough time for the weekend. He says, "I have to say they've done a really good job," Chandhok said in a video he posted on X, formerly known as Twitter. I still call it Twitter, I'm sure. Anyway, moving on. The tarmac looks really good. Pretty high grip, I think, as well. Given the temperatures, I was a bit worried about the grip level, but I think the tarmac will be quite grippy, actually. So it's been amazing to walk around the track and see that it's all done in time. No last minute panics. So very impressive, and I'm looking forward to seeing cars on the track, as are we all, Karun. As are we all. So pretty much a thumbs up from Karun Chandhok there. But let's check out these new liveries. We have the new Red Bull with the Las Vegas stuff on the side around the Oracle thing. Yeah, and this is from motorsport.com by Jonathan Noble. It says, with interest in F1 having feigned that by the return of Grand Prix racing in Las Vegas, several teams have announced plans to race in different colours. So there's the Red Bull there. Last week, as we know, Ferrari revealed it was switching to a red and white colour scheme that paid homage to what it had during the 1970s, the last era when F1 saw a boom in the USA. Now, as we know, Red Bull has made its reveal. And also, Williams has revamped its car to reveal a livery that features a design making use of the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas across its engine cover. I love the Williams logo there. And Nevada, I think it looks pretty cool, if I'm honest, doesn't it? Absolutely. Alpine is also running a one-off livery for the Las Vegas weekend as a result of collaboration it has with skate and streetwear brand Palace. Now, as well as the official suits of Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon, plus the team's pit crew being reworked, the team's A523 car, that's the Alpine, will run in tweaked colours. And speaking about its collaboration, Palace said, "We are so hyped to be kitting out BWT Alpine." Look at that, getting the sponsors in there. BWT Alpine F1 team cars, driver and pit crew for Las Vegas Grand Prix, a street race at night in one of the most mental and beautiful places on earth. F1 returning to Vegas in the first time in 40 years. Yep. Can't forget mentioning that car park, can we? There's a long straight that runs along the strip, while the circuit will also work its way around the iconic sphere. That's been grabbing interest in recent weeks. There we go. There's the slightly different Alpine there. And any more? No, they're not showing any more. But I do think we've seen clips of obviously the Ferrari, and I think the Ferrari looks pretty cool as well. But from exciting liveries that might look hot to cold. See what I did there? I'm so sorry. Sorry, dad joke. But we're talking, this is from WTF1.com. Once again, Pirelli are already expecting complaints from F1 teams over Vegas conditions that we can't change. So tyres and temps seem to be the talk of the town. This is what we've been talking about here on the Hot Lap again and again. I apologise. But F1 appears to hit the Las Vegas Strip this weekend. There's some apprehension surrounding how cold it could be. And it won't be the coldest race in F1 history. But with the operating temperature for tyres around the 100 to 110 C mark, drivers could be struggling for grip. That's because very few high-speed corners on the track and 3 long straights. There aren't many opportunities for drivers to warm their tyres to the desired temperature. We could see absolute chaos. Hey, I don't mind chaos as long as everyone is safe and we come away with all 20 uninjured drivers. But how often have we heard teams or drivers complain about tyres degrading too quickly? Well, Vegas shouldn't offer that problem, that's for sure, it says. But Mario Solis, Pirelli's motorsport manager, understands there will still probably be complaints heading his way. He said it's a step into the unknown for everybody, I believe. Las Vegas will be cold. It's a street circuit. And he's once again talked about the 3 softest compound, but he said, so they will complain in terms of the teams. It's fine. We will manage also the situation, but it's a big unknown. Fast track, long straights, high speed, and all conditions that are quite difficult to manage. He said, obviously, we cannot change the weather. We cannot increase the temperature. A challenge could be to keep the temperature in the tyre. That's why we decided on those 3 softest compounds. But there we go. Could be chaos. Also, what is, if you believe chaos for all the other teams, is Andretti entering F1. This is from racefans.net. And Cadillac to enter Formula 1 as the 7th power unit in 2028. Yep, General Motors will enter Formula 1 as a power unit in 2028, the American car manufacturing giant announced today. Obviously, good timing, on purpose. Las Vegas, America, Cadillac. So it will produce and I've gone way down there, my apologies. It will produce a unit built to the new power regulations for Formula 1. These are introduced in 2026 and it will be branded as Cadillac. Now, the manufacturer reaffirmed it is only prepared to enter F1 with the new entered team by Andretti Global. Andretti's planned F1 team was approved by the FIA last month, but is yet to agree commercial terms with Formula 1 management. It said, we are thrilled that our new Andretti Cadillac F1 entry will be powered by a GM power unit, said GM President Mark Royce. I'm sorry, Mark, if I've got that wrong. But he went on to say, with our deep engineering and racing expertise, we are confident we'll develop a successful power unit for the series and position Andretti Cadillac as a works team. Now, the arrival of GM will increase the number of power unit manufacturers to 7. That's the most we've had in ages. They'll compete against Ferrari, Mercedes, Ford, Audi, Renault, and Red Bull Ford. Wow, have Porsche missed the boat there by not trying to, get a decent deal? But there we go. We will run with the very best at the highest speeds with passion and integrity that will elevate the sport for race fans around the world, said Royce. Yep, sorry, Mark. Now, the American manufacturer, says here, made the announcement ahead of the Las Vegas Grand Prix with its newest addition to F1's calendar and the 3rd round to take place in the US this year. Rice stressed it's committed to partnering with Andretti to race in F1. The collaboration between Andretti Cadillac brings together 2 unique entries built for racing, both with long pedigrees of success in motorsport globally. Okay, I mean, what's interesting is, as we know, there's big controversy if you are some of the teams. Many remember James Vowles, I think, at COTA, having that passionate speech, and Haas being kind of against the end. Well, to be fair, most teams seem to be against Andretti. But with General Motors coming into the sport, can they afford not to endorse Andretti, especially if they're going to turn around and go, this is the only team we're going with. If not, we are out, which could is a potential there if you read between the lines. That's going to be really interesting, and we stay tuned on the Hot Lap because that is a story that we were going to want to follow. So new 2026 cars revealed, albeit this is just kind of like a rendering. This is from MSN.com. The F1 26 cars are set to be smaller and lighter, kind of as predicted. The main focus change surrounds the engine though, which will deliver more hybrid power and run on sustainable fuels. The chassis is also set to be subject to significant revisions and innovations, such as active aerodynamics set to arrive. Now, speaking to motorsport.com, Nicholas Tombayas, or Tomba, I'm so terrible with names, but the FIA's head of single-seaters, there we go, who had a key influence on the formations of last year's rule, the F1 2022 rules, which were implemented with the primary aim of making overtaking easier, which it did last year, but drivers have reported this year that overtaking is becoming a bit more difficult. But he believes a 50 kilogram reduction in weight is possible, and he predicts the next gen cars will be faster on the straights but slower in the corners, with the hybrid system making a greater contribution in overall lap time. He said, with the dimensions of the wheels, we will be narrower, plus the rear wing and the car in general, we aim to reduce the weight of the cars by around 50 kilograms. So it will be possible to see smaller single-seaters, shorter and narrower, but we are talking about solutions that still need to be discussed. With the car on a diet, he says, we will be able to reduce the cornering speeds a bit. Being lighter, they will go faster in a straight line, but will generate less aerodynamic load. So we will need to increase the hybrid's energy recovery to ensure adequate lap performance. A lot of work has been done to understand how energy recovery management will have to be done and how overtaking can be done based on the aerodynamic configuration. I mean, the story comes from Automoto Unsport. Here is a picture of it, albeit slightly ski-whiffed in a way. Let's there we go. There's another picture of it. Let me stretch that out to be somewhat normal there. I mean, obviously they're using the Audi thing. It does look quite nice, doesn't it? I mean, look at that. As you can see, the rear wing looks like a different shape. But it's not too dissimilar from the 2022 form. But the active aerodynamics make it look really I think, make it quite exciting for Formula One. But as I said, this is just a 3D rendering. Who knows? If you remember that 3D rendering last time round from I was at Silverstone in 2021 and I saw it, and how different all the cars have looked. But they've now, Red Bull have pretty much been the establishment, so to speak, and have gone on from there. But there we go. But last but not least is Lewis Hamilton is in Fortnite, believe it or not, at least his skin. I mean, check that out. Fortnite is currently riding high on the nostalgia of a generation. This is from Eurogamer.net. Pining to the good old days of 5 years ago, is extending its icons line of cosmetics this Friday with the arrival of celebrated F1 driver Lewis Hamilton and his bulldog Roscoe. Hamilton joins a steadily growing number of noted sports stars and celebrities to be turned into Fortnite skins. He joins, obviously, Naomi Osaka, Chloe Kim, LeBron James, Ariana Grande, Bruno Mars, Marshmello, Neymar, I can't get these names, but Junior. Now, news of Hamilton's imminent Fortnite debut was accompanied by a trailer featuring the F1 star wandering around, for some reason, a hall of mirrors and launching himself at a vaguely cat-like superhero outfit before plunging into the world of Fortnite, whereupon the outfit had magically wrapped itself around Hamilton's digital frame. And it also comes with a slightly less flashy alternative outfit, basically a shirt and shades, I think, as you can see there. But more notable, it is the addition of his Instagram famous vegan bulldog Roscoe, who currently has nearly 1 million Instagram followers, and it features a dangly back bling and also makes an appearance perched on the front of Hamilton's surfboard-like glider. There we go. Biggest news of the day, Hamilton's Fortnite skin. Anyway, this has been the Hot Lap. Like, subscribe if you want. Thank you so much for all your comments. I really, really appreciate it. So looking forward to the Las Vegas Grand Prix. The next time I speak to you, it's going to be the preview of the preview, because it'll be after the last time I speak to you, I imagine, before we have the first running, the first cars sort of in anger for practice 1 and 2. It's going to be really, really interesting, and we'll be making more predictions then on our last show before the first practice session. That was a mouthful. Anyway, if you made it to the end, you are a champion. If you comment, you are a champion. If you like and subscribe, you are a champion. But if you do any of those two, you are a multiple champion F1 champion, of course, in our eyes. Thank you very much. Speak to you next time.